Cooking with the Brewski, part 2, with our special guest, J-Orbs, Jimbo, Mr. Orbler. Alright, so we're cooking some hash browns. Pork chops. I turned it down to between 2 and 3, so it'll simmer, just so it won't cook too fast. The potatoes are going to take a little bit longer to cook. And we'll be microwaving some veggies to go with it. Over here we have some sliced and diced mushrooms that we're going to add to it. And for our seasoning today, we're going to use garlic and herb. And of course, some ground black pepper. Alrighty. So what's the verdict there with the potato situation?
Still cooking away. Tell they're not, they're starting to get brown on one side. You can tell they're still hard.
Yep. Basically, you're just going to cook them until they're
soft.
Soft like and brown.
Soft. See that they're starting to soften up a little bit on one side later.
Now, if you were to make hash, do you recommend using a frying pan, or do you recommend using a pot too? Could you boil them, or is that take it away from the...
No, you have to fry it.
Oh. Just curious if there's alternative ways in case anybody watching at home wants to know the secrets of hash.
If you had potatoes that were already cooked, you could just chop them up and put them in the frying pan. Like I made it out of baked potatoes from Jungle Jim's before.
Nice.
Yeah, and the chef, we had some extra ones. They're like, "Do you want them?" And I was like, "You know what? I'll take them. They're free potatoes, and they're like this big." And I just chopped them up, made hash out of it.
Wow.
When you do it that way, you don't have to cook them. You just want to get them a little brown. But these ones are more raw, so you got to cook them.
Interesting.
Then once they're cooked, you put your spices in. Wait a minute, let the flavors go in there. Then you put your mushrooms in. Wait a minute for them to cook.
Next time you come over,
we put these in. They're gonna be cooked in 2 minutes.
next time you come over, I'm gonna cook that salmon stuff for you. The spinach and stuff like that's really good. It's super good. It's super healthy too.
Chef,
It has, you have your bell peppers, you have your mushrooms, you have your salmon, which has like omegas and stuff in it. Then you have your baby spinach, which is your greens. Not too bad.
Spinach is good.
I like using baby spinach because I find it's easier to layer the plate compared to the big pieces of spinach.
I've never had baby spinach. Usually you cook that.
Well, what I do is I like put it on as a base, and then you just put it on top, and it's all already cooked. So it's kind of like a salmon salad. All right, now I'm gonna flip over the pork chop again. Got this nice, beautiful brownness going to it. I'll show you guys. Look at that. These are the hash browns, as you can clearly see. Zoom in a little bit more. There we go. You can see how brown they're getting now. Nice and golden.
We're getting there.
Getting there. So when did you figure out about hash? Did you just get bored and experiment with it, or?
Well, it's an old classic dish, man. It's what you make for breakfast when there's nothing compelling else to do. You can use leftovers, and it's hearty.
Making homemade hash browns is probably a lot better, wouldn't it? Because the potatoes are more fresh.
It tastes better, yeah. A lot better.
I remember
you can brown them to your desired brownness.
I remember doing something similar, chopping up potatoes, but you do it into like the strings, and we would have deep fryer at my dad's, and we'd just make our homemade fries. Those were good. A lot better than frozen ones.
This is something you could make like on a campfire too, like at a camp. Or if you just had a hot plate, you didn't have a whole stove, you can make this.
Or if you ever go kayaking again.
You don't really need a whole kitchen to do it.
So when do you plan on putting the eggs in? Around the same time as the mushrooms, or are you going to put the mushrooms in first?
So the eggs are last.
Okay. Kind of like
The
scramble
eggs
it in.
are last because once you put those eggs in, you gotta move it, and then it's gonna take like another.
Did you want to add milk to it too?
No.
No? Some
No,
people
it's not like scrambled eggs. It's more like fried rice.
Okay, I know what you mean.
You get the eggs in there, and it just sticks to everything.
Right on.
It's more like fried rice. It's not like scrambled eggs. Now you can see they're starting to get cooked, but they're inconsistent, so you gotta cook it a little longer. Some of them are probably still hard right now.
Yeah, they're all different shapes.
This one here, well, it's pretty soft. They're starting to get cooked, but you gotta make sure they're all cooked. That's the trick, because if you don't, it won't taste good. See, that one's hard. And also, I usually get a little more brown than that. It's just tasty. It's not good for you. Any sort of brown starch is bad for you, but it tastes good.
Alright, we're going to flip the pork chops again. Make sure they're
starting to stick together a little bit.
Is that what you look for?
Well, it makes it easier to flip them.
Sweet.
You can see they're starting to get soft.
Dude, you know what we should add? We should add cheese.
To the hash?
Yeah.
Yeah, we can add cheese, but cheese will be last, like after the eggs.
I was thinking we should sprinkle on right after you put the eggs in, so then it'll melt in with the eggs.
Well, yeah, but you gotta stir the eggs.
Stir the cheese in with the eggs. You know what I mean?
You're gonna have to put the cheese in after the eggs. Because when you put the egg in, you don't just let it sit. You put it in and you go.
So all you do with that, I'll just sprinkle in the cheese.
And then once they're stirred, then you put the egg on, or the cheese on.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
Sometimes I do actually put cheese on it. Just depends what you put in it. If you put
It's
a bunch of
double cheddar.
If you put a bunch of weird spices and soy sauce and you put cheese on it, doesn't really taste good. But we're not doing that, so cheese will work.
Yeah, let's do that. I'm kind of in the mood for cheese. That's why I was craving pizza, to be honest with you.
Yeah, let's put cheese on it. Also, do you have a cover?
I don't think so.
Do you have a plate that we could use as a cover? A big plate?
And they're starting to look pretty good.
Or we could even use like a pan.
What do you need a cover for?
I'll show you a trick. Cheese.
I'll check to see if I have covers.
I don't know if I fit that.
You got a big one.
Yeah, I don't. It doesn't. Yeah, that'll work. I'll show you a trick with the cheese, actually. It's gonna make it look nice, too.
Yeah, I'm cooking with the Brewski, getting fancier and fancier every episode.
No, we went from just frying potatoes to now we're doing full hash with cheese.
Heck yeah. What I'm talking about.
And pork chops.
And veggies. Oh, we might not even need the veggies. If we're still hungry, we can cook up the veggies if you want.
Well, this is usually a meal for me. And we've got pork chops to go with it. That's probably good.
Plus, we're not really cooking the veggies anyway, so we don't really have to have that in our episode
Just gonna
today.
go full grease today.
Yeah.
Pork and hash.
And if we're still hungry, we'll just microwave the veggies.
Give it another little. Actually, well, it's probably safe to put the spices in. Just liberally apply spice. Don't squander it.
Just do like a nice even coating. Look at that. That is beautiful. And then you stir it around. Oh wow.
Oh, where's the pepper?
The pepper is right here.
Usually I would put like 4 or 5 different spices, but this thing has them all in one.
There you go.
I add like sage, parsley, my exotic peppers that I have, paprika. If you want to get, if you're feeling spicy, put a little cayenne in there. Garlic. Usually I use garlic powder for this type of stuff, not actual garlic.
True.
Now, actually, they're probably cooked pretty well. Like I said, this isn't, they're not that brown because of the type of potatoes. If you had different potatoes, they'd be a lot
Oh,
darker.
what about the mushrooms? Should
Oh,
probably
right,
put the
yeah.
mushrooms in first.
I'm gonna put that in first. Different potatoes would be a lot darker brown by now, but those are white potatoes. They
And we
don't
just
brown
need
that
to
much.
stir those in. Let them cook for a couple of minutes. You want some more oil?
No, that's fine.
Okay.
They just kind of sit on top of the potatoes anyway, just get that heat. Actually, we can use this to our advantage right now. That's not what I wanted it for, but that will help them cook a little better.
Alright, so now we got the potatoes covered. Got the cheese all ready to go.
That garlic stuff smells pretty damn good.
Yeah, I used that the other day when I was cooking it. It tastes really good.
It's almost perfect for this because there's a little bit of salt in it. And you want to add a little bit of salt. I usually use soy sauce because it gives you umami as well as salt.
Gives you that flavor, you know.
But you don't want too much salt in it, it won't taste good.
True. True.
You want a little bit, but not.
We're almost going to have to do a part 3 here soon. Damn. A 3-parter. I've never done a 3-parter before.
Really?
It's special. Special edition.
See, the mushrooms are cooking now.
Yeah, it smells so good.
It does. You smell the mushrooms. And that garlic.
Mushrooms is a good call.
This might be one of the better hashes I've made.
Yep.
These potatoes are like perfect for it. There's a little taste test here.
It's the verdict. Bang on.
Yep. Give it another minute, I'll put the egg. Now when you make it normally, you put meat, not mushrooms. You don't need to cover it at that point. Because you just want to warm the meat up.
Stay tuned for part 3.